What's up, my friends? This is First Down Media, and ooh, we've got a spicy one today. Cleveland is buzzing right now because Browns insider Mary Kay Cabot just dropped fresh details on when we might finally see Shedeur Sanders under center. And get this, Shaduer himself went live on Twitch last night teasing something that has fans losing their minds, a possible start coming very soon. If that's true, we could be witnessing the start of a brand new era in Cleveland football. So sit back, hit that like button, and let's break down exactly what's going on behind the scenes. Because if Shaduer's really about to start, things in Cleveland are about to get real interesting. All right, my friends, like I said before, we've got more updates fresh off the wire. Mary Kay Cabot just dropped new insight on when we could finally see Shedeur Sanders take that first NFL snap. Now look, I know a lot of you clicked on this video and couldn't care less about what Mary Kay has to say. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm putting Shadeur's Twitch clip first before anything else. Then we'll circle back to what Mary Kay revealed, and of course, I'll give you my thoughts at the end. Because let's be honest, what Shedeur said might have just confirmed everything. He dropped a major hint that he could be playing soon. And here's the kicker. He's not going to Colorado's homecoming to support his father, primetime Deion Sanders. That right there, that's not just family business, that's football business. So here's what we're gonna do. I'll play the Twitch clips for you guys first, let you hear it for yourself. Then we'll break down exactly what it means and why Cleveland might be on the verge of a massive quarterback shakeup. Trust me, you're gonna wanna hear this, because if this hint is real, things are about to get crazy in Cleveland.
My name is...
I wish I could though, but it just can't happen. I got treatment on here. I got treatment on here. I can't be I gotta get ready. Big ready.
Mary Kay, I am nervous right now.
What are you nervous about, Ken?
Because I hear your contemporary, Ashley Bestock, and she was with Afternoon Drive, and they are bandying about a possible idea of Deshaun Watson playing before Shedeur Sanders. I find it to be ludicrous, Mary Kay.
Oh, I really don't think that would be the case.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, no, I don't think that would be the case. The thing that has to happen with Deshaun Watson, first of all, he has to be cleared medically, which that could happen after the bye week. He's going to undergo some tests after the bye week, or maybe he's even undergoing those tests right now during the bye week. And if he passes those tests, then the next step would be to open his practice window. And that could happen. It's a 21-day practice window, and that could happen right after the bye week, I would think. 1 or 2 weeks after the bye week, they could open up that window and see how he's doing and see if he's ready to go. And then if he is ready to go during that 21 days, then at that point, they can activate him. But I wouldn't say that he's in line to play before Shaduer. I wouldn't say that. I don't think that that's necessarily in the cards.
Mary Kay, I'm very ready to see Shedeur Sanders. I want to see him against the Jets. I know it's not going to happen. How long do you think that Dillon Gabriel still has before they would consider going to Shedeur Sanders?
Well, I know that they want to give him a good long time to see what he can do, to come up that learning curve, and it's a twofold process here. It's not just what Dillon can or can't do, but it's how ready is Shaduer. And if Shaduer were ready in 2 or 3 weeks, then I think they would throw him in there. But I think they have to know that he's going to go out there and be able to function, and not just function, but function in this particular offense, an offense that is struggling in so many different ways right now, and you don't want to shatter a rookie quarterback's confidence. So he's got to be able to go out there and protect himself. He can't retreat like he did in college. And this is the point I made in the column that I wrote the other day, and that is, when you've got a quarterback like Drake May, he can absorb 6 sacks in that game and make enough explosive plays, and they can make enough explosive runs to overcome those negative plays. The Browns aren't getting those explosives right now, so you can't put someone out there that is potentially going to get negative plays or, a fair amount of negative plays without knowing that you've got something coming on the other end. So that's part of it. They have to know that he is ready to go out there and that everybody else is ready to support him in the way that he's going to need.
Mary Kay, your fans are going to hear about getting up to speed and closing the gap and all this terminology that just has made it seem like Shaduer was just buried before everything got started. So what was it that they loved about him so much that even after taking Dillon Gabriel, they're like, yeah, we can take another quarterback? And why do you think he's working at such a deficit the way that everybody talks about him?
Well, I think Andrew spelled it out very, very clearly in the preseason when he said for Shaduer, he was learning, going from English to Mandarin. He had a lot to learn in terms of how to run a pro offense. He didn't know how to articulate the plays and do all the things that Dillon already knew a lot of that pro-style stuff. Shaduer didn't have to do a lot of that. And so he's had to learn it. And he's learning very quickly. He's got a very, very high football acumen. And he is coming up that learning curve, and I hear great things about what he looks like in practice and how he's doing. But he had a long way to go. He had a long, long way to go to get to the point where he could do all of those pre-snap things. And nobody wants to listen to that. I understand that. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to listen to it. But you have to be able to go out there and function in that job with everything happening so fast and people coming at you very, very quickly. And he doesn't also necessarily have the mobility or the speed to get himself out of trouble the way some other quarterbacks do. He's not a mobile quarterback. I mean, he can move some, but he's not necessarily someone that you're going to be running called runs with and things like that, and a lot of the keepers and RPOs and things like that. That's just not his game. He's more of a drop back passer, sort of in the mold of, I would think, more of like a Joe Flacco, but not necessarily with that strong of an arm. The thing I've always said about Shaduer, and I will continue to say this, and I see it every single day I'm out there, is his elite accuracy. And when I say that, people say, well, if he's got that. Well, you have to have more than that. I've seen other quarterbacks through time who have elite accuracy, but you have to have everything else. You have to be able to process. You have to be able to move sometimes and do other things. So it's kind of the total package, and he just has to be ready is what the bottom line is.
All right, so you guys just heard Browns insider Mary Kay Cabot denying that Deshaun Watson would get his shot before Shedeur Sanders. But here's where it gets real interesting. Shaduer himself came out and said he's got to get ready, big ready. He even admitted he's a little banged up, said he needs treatment, recovery, all that stuff. Now, how exactly he got banged up, nobody knows, but those words came straight from his mouth. So that's where we stand. He's focused, locked in, and preparing for something big. Now listen, I'm not buying the whole he's learning a pro-style offense excuse. Nah, this Brown system, it's nearly identical to Pat Shurmur's offense that Shaduer ran at Colorado. He knows this playbook inside out. And let's not forget, we saw the QB tracker all offseason. Shaduer's numbers, better than every one of those four guys. Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dillon Gabriel, all of them. Yeah, Gabriel turned the ball over more, but that didn't stop them from drafting him in the 3rd round. And let's be real, Shaduer was never going to get that spotlight early. But now that's changing. Slowly, loudly. If we're talking weaknesses, the biggest one is his tendency to retreat when the play breaks down. Sometimes he just needs to throw it away instead of forcing something big every snap. That habit got him into too many 2nd and longs and 3rd and longs back at Jackson State, and I've seen it firsthand just 30 minutes from me. But let's not twist it. Shedeur Sanders was the best quarterback in that draft. Top 5 in the league right now in terms of raw potential. Mark my words, he's gonna go down as one of the best to ever play this game. Because everything they've done, the draft disrespect, the media shade, the Cleveland silence, it's all fuel. They're building a monster without even realizing it. And when Shaduer finally gets his shot, he's coming for everything they said he couldn't have. So get down in the comments, let me know your thoughts. Do you think Shaduer should start now? Hit that like button, subscribe, turn on the bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Because this story, oh, it's just getting started.